What's good? What's good? What's good? It's your boy Carcino here. Let's talk about it. For those in the know, those who may not be in the know, what's going on? Over the weekend, Chauncey Billups and Jason Kidd were the subject of having their character attacked by sports writers. Now, you might be saying to yourself, why? Why? That would be a good question. What? And why? Why would someone want to attack two people that have been a staple for what the standard should be for years? See, now we're starting to see why Chauncey Billups didn't get that promotion that he was supposed to be as GM. Now you starting to get the picture. They blaming Chauncey Billups for something he was not even charged for. He was a rookie at Antoine Walker's house for that doggone party where another player, Mercer, and another person that they tried to charge, right, for the incident. They paid some type of fee or whatever and was done with the case. This was never brought up when Chauncey played in Detroit for the Pistons. This was his rookie year as a Boston Celtic. This incident was never brought up. You see what I'm saying? Never mentioned. None throughout the career did I see them bring this up for Chauncey Billups. Chauncey Billups was given every type of award in the NBA for being the standard and the staple of what a player is supposed to be. He's been the ultimate professional. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that still ain't good enough. Nope. Not to them. That ain't good enough. And why isn't it good enough? People, why isn't it good enough? Can somebody answer that question for me? Why isn't it good enough? It ain't good enough because they don't fit their standard. Do they go behind the path and vet all these other people? Danny Ferry was clean, cool, clean and cut to be a GM of a team. They knew Danny Ferry was the biggest racist person they have ever met in their life. Believe me, these people know who racist and who ain't. And definitely, they knew 100% Danny Ferry was a racist. And they hired him. Made him a GM. Right? Despite all these different complaints that was racial about Danny Ferry. But it didn't stop them from promoting Ferry, did it? Nope, not at all. Jason Kidd has coached on 2 different teams. J. Kidd had went through some problems in his life, dealing with an ex-wife in that situation, J Kidd turned his whole life around and showed he matured, went to NBA Finals, Dream Team, came back, won a championship with the Mavs, and all of a sudden, now they want to try to tarnish Jason Kidd too. They say, well, if we wrote about Chauncey, we got to write about J Kidd too, even though we kind of like J Kidd better. Now, the why. And I wanted to see would people really talk about the why, and they haven't. So let's talk about the why they're doing this. Why did they choose to do this and come so venomously against people who have really followed their guidelines and their standards? Why? I'll tell you why. It's all about Becky. That's what it's all about. Becky. They doing all of this for Becky. That's what it's about. Becky. See, they didn't give a damn about Jason Kidd. It's just like, okay, well, we got to throw him in it too. But it's about Becky. That's what it's about. It wasn't about Chauncey. It's about Becky. You see, certain people that don't even watch the game of basketball want to make this all about Becky. She would have been the first female head coach of the team. This would have been great for us. All the liberal people who have nothing to do with the sport of basketball now want to talk this misogyny and push the narrative to get Becky that job. Becky's an assistant coach, and she's good at her job. She interviewed for 2 jobs, like Dallas, and they wanted Jason Kidd. The owner wanted to choose Jason Kidd. The owner wanted to choose Chauncey Billups as head coach in Portland, and Becky didn't get the job. Oh gosh, now we got to tear down Chauncey Billups and we got nothing on him. Let's go back to something when he was a rookie. Being in a place, he wasn't even charged with anything. But because I guess he was there, we got to really question the reason why they hired him. Forget that he never did anything as a player, as a GM, as a coach. He was good enough to be all of these things. Awarded all the Samaritan Awards, charitable donations. He was great enough to be this kind of guy. But he ain't good enough to be the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. A team that's won nothing since Bill Walton was there. He's not good enough to coach that team, when he really should be general manager. But now we know why he kept getting passed over. They just exposed their hand. Now, let's get even more into this. Even more deeper than that. What is Becky's credentials? Start digging into her past. What has she done in her life? Nobody cares, right? She's a woman. Give her a shot. Why won't they give Becky a shot? This is why Tim Duncan left. Remember when Pop put Tim Duncan in charge instead of Becky? Y'all threw a fit against an NBA Hall of Famer. Tim Duncan, first ballot Hall of Famer. You think he don't know how to coach one damn game? Tim Duncan says, I'm out. Tim Duncan wanted no parts of what was going to be this Becky Lynch situation. Pop was going to retire and hand it down to Timmy. And Tim said, I don't want that. I don't want the kind of attention this brought. We coached by committee here. It wasn't, they just put me in, Pop just chose me and said, Timmy, run it, you know. And I just did, but we all coached. It wasn't nothing against Becky and nothing like this, but they made it an issue. Right? See, when the liberal media try to control the narrative, you got to ask the question and put the spotlight on who these writers were that started this nonsense, who brought it back up, and go at them. Because they're making it worldwide news where everybody's like, we're only talking about it because they wrote about it. Who was the writer? Go bring him up. Dig him up like worms. And I wanted to see who was going to be brave enough to bring this to the forefront. Now, I ain't talking about YouTubers. I'm talking about the media. Who was going to open their mouth and talk about what's really going on and why they really doing this? A black guy got a coaching job, something that they can barely get in the NBA, who really should be the general manager. But you got to beg, claw, scratch, and kick in 2021 just to get that. And a female wants to be the head coach of a basketball team because the liberal medias want to see it so badly. They push this narrative and agenda like everyone's against her. When they probably interviewed her and said, well, we just feel Chauncey's more qualified to be the head coach. Why can't that just be the norm? But when you have to promote somebody else by tearing down other people, then that ceases to be an importance here, where I'm losing focus. I know, ESPN, Fox. I wanted to see when they were going to bring up the real issue. Yeah, I saw your boy Captain Jack retweeted something. Y'all sent it to me. He retweeted something about what Kendrick Perkins said. But notice, I don't think he said nothing. Notice, Maddie ain't said nothing. But you're going to post something somebody else said, but you ain't going to really put your 2 cents behind it and talk about what's really going on. Because that's going to affect your bag. Can't risk it for the bag, can you? Can't risk it for that bag. Can't risk it for the biscuit, can you, Jack? But it ain't just you. Y'all all doing it. Not y'all on YouTube talking about sports media. They don't want to talk about that Becky. And this the Becky with the not good hair. This Becky ain't got good hair. No, this is not Becky Lynch. They don't want to hire Becky Lynch as the coach. Nice try, though. Yeah, Becky Hammond, no one has ever said a bad word about Becky. At all. Because this is not about Becky. Becky has never tried to ride the liberal train. When Pop got ejected and Becky ended up having to coach the rest of the way, liberal media made a circus out of it. Oh, we got the first woman head coach to coach an NBA game. This is huge. Oh my God. When she didn't get that, like that would have been a good look for the league. People trying to win a basketball game. And she made the right approach and she made the right statements because that's what you do. She's like, look, I'm not here to be a media, puppet and, oh, this is going to be great for us and we allow this to happen. She's not there for that. She's there. Her job is to try to help the team win. Make sure they're prepared to win a game. And that was her job. Whenever she's on the court, that's what she's preaching. So I understand that. I just don't understand why other people have a problem with the whole scenario when they can see the scenario clear as day. It's clear. Why y'all have a problem with that? It's kind of weird, don't you think? Why would somebody have a problem with that? People talk, So anyway, hit the like button, support the page, Carcino for Life. Make sure y'all subscribe, hit that notification bell. Remember, on the Patreon, we do go deeper when we talk. We went real hard with the Eddie Griffith, Seth Rogen situation. Harder than YouTube would ever allow us to be here. So thank you to Patreon. So that Carcino for Life Patreon puts it right in perspective. And we will be going harder over there on some special people. So you can get even more harsher details about what's going on. We could really open up over there. Yeah, they're still trying to block my Birth to Christianity Part 3. I'm still having a problem of understanding why this is happening. But that's needless to say. Whatever their reasons are, I'm quite sure we'll get to it. But anyway, I'm out. Chucking the deuces.